Welcome back, viewers. This is our episode number 44, and today we have a very special guest and our senior advisor and Canadian partner here with us, and his name is David Markvitas. So, David, sir, so today what we are talking about? Would you like to brief
Well,
our
I'm
audience?
sure. Very glad to be here finally on this podcast. Today we're going to talk about Web3 and what it means to Crobstacle. And I've just attended the Asia's largest web festival in Hong Kong with over, I guess, 10,000 plus attendees.
That is
It
amazing.
was Yeah, that was a 3 day event, and the atmosphere was absolutely exhilarating. And participation from various sectors, from technology to finance to health and art, and you name it, everybody was there. And I was a VIP guest of Hashkey Group, and they are one of the largest digital asset company in Asia. And they were actually, we started talking with them a couple of months ago, and they wanted to have their entry into Americas, and we've been partnering with them and having discussions how we can help them to get into America, and not only America, but as well as into the Middle East because of my experience and the partnerships that I have in the Middle East. And so we got invited there, and I was glad that I attended. It was excellent, yes.
So, for our audience, David sir has more than 40 years of experience in this industry. He is very, very experienced. I'm going to do a separate episode on that to share his journey because me and David sir, we had really long conversation, like 2 to 3 hour conversation straight, talking about each other's journey. And me personally, as you know, how I have been running Crobstacle. Me being young, I have been always hearing David sir experiences, and we are going to do that episode series separately with sir. So, but for today, we are going to talk about one of the most important things that our audience has been waiting for. You have been commenting in our previous podcast, we have been talking about it, and in our poll also, you told that you want to hear what is happening in Web3. And this is our David sir. He has been there, he has lived that life for the 3 days with the people, right people in this industry, and now we are going to be talking about that. So, David sir, like you were invited to Hong Kong. First of all, like tell to our audience because our our audience likes a bit of informal flow. How was your experience from Canada to Hong Kong? How long was the journey? How was it?
Well, it was good. It wasn't a long journey, especially when you think about traveling from Canada, because I flew the Pacific route. So I flew from Calgary straight into Tokyo in Narita Airport, which was about 10.5 hours flight, and then there was just a layover about I think it was about just under 2 hours, and then another 3.5 hours flight to Hong Kong. So it wasn't all that terribly tiring because I was doing the Pacific route. But when I do travel the Atlantic route, like if I'm going to Dubai or coming to India to Dehradun, of course, to be with you, those are challenging flights. Long flights, 14 hours non-stop. Then you have another few hours, another maybe 3.5 hours to come to Dehradun. And so this was not all that bad, but it was good. Had a
So
very
you were
good flight.
fresh, pretty fresh when you reached out.
I was pretty fresh. Yes, I was not tired actually. I was excited. I guess it was just the excitement to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So sir, David sir, like you have been there, blockchain, Web3, all of this has been coming to our our segment of business, which is digital marketing all together, and then IT as well. So,
Right.
what was the impression when after reaching out to the hotel, when you went to the event for the first time? What was your impression about it?
So the first thing which actually put me out of place, because the entire audience, me and my buddy, we both were there, and we were actually suited, booted with our ties and jackets and all. When you arrived there, everybody's in shorts and t-shirts, and I said, "Wow, what is this?"
That is
What
amazing.
is
Actually, for our audience, even I am right now sitting in shorts. It's too hot here in Dehradun.
Yeah, but you see, and then we were looking. Oh, we are the old fogies out here, and then we the first session happens, and the Hashkey Group's CEO is on the podium, and the other people, and he says, "I am feeling out of place here because we are all suited here at the podium, and the other people on the podium, all young guys. They're probably not more than 20, 25, tops maybe 30."
Wow.
uh, and these are all kids, and they're into blockchain, they're into NFTs, and they're into all this Web3 space, and and everybody also into the booths. If you go in, we don't find any senior people in the booths. They're all kids, and they're talking so fast, and I'm trying to keep pace with what I'm trying to understand from them. But yeah, that was the difference.
It
That's the
was too
first
much of
impression.
information at once from the young
Yeah,
kids.
but the thing is, are we in the right space? Like the next day, it was only t-shirts and just caps and jeans. I said, okay, let's do this. Forget
Actually
about the
being
suit.
comfortable and getting all the info
Yeah,
that you need.
yeah, because you need to be be there with them. You just can't say that.
Right, and totally blockchain and Web3 is so new right now, like still people don't understand what exactly it is. So, by
That's
the way,
right.
David sir, our audience tells us that these are very complicated topics, they don't understand it at all. What's your take on these topics? What is Web3, what is blockchain from your perspective?
It is not complicated once you get to know it. When you hear the terms, you don't understand what it is. It's all about. So let me tell you the theme of the festival. Basically, I would take three themes of the festival. Is the technology itself, the Web3 technology, and it's basically showcasing the latest innovations in decentralized applications and contracts and digital identities. So that's how the Web3 technology works. It's decentralized because right now, if you looked at Web 1 and Web 2, if you knew Web 1, Web 2, it's moving into Web 3, which is decentralizing everything. The second thing is about the blockchain infrastructure. Scalability solutions. They offers interoperability of and the digital identities. So that's number two. The third one I would say is the global regulation environment. This is huge. This is really huge. How you navigate through these global regulations. Avoiding legal framework and the implication for businesses and of course developers in the Web3 space. So these are three main key themes that I was able to experience, and the people are talking all about it there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing. I think we will be needing to break all of this down into a series of podcasts because this is way too much information. But yeah, for our audience today, we are going to divide this into giving you a bit of insight into all of these topics, and of course, based on your feedback, your comments, we will be making the further episodes on this. So it totally depends on your audience. We are giving you a chance for this, so you need to make engagement because I see many of you liking it, but you don't comment at all. So now it's your time to tell your opinions on it. So now moving it with you, Davidson. So what was the first key panel discussion that you heard there, and what were the key takeaways? That you listened in that panel discussion of whatever discussion that even.
Yeah, basically, the keynotes. There are several keynotes on various subjects. The first one was basically the introductions. There were people from the government and the regulatory boards who coming in talking about the entire the blockchain and the Web3 technology, which is actually moving so quickly. You won't be surprised that Web 4 and Web 5 is just catching up.
Oh.
You don't even talk about what Web 4 and Web
So
5 is going to be.
it is basically like how our internet became from 2G to 3G and 4G and 5G.
Exactly. It's so quick. It's so quick. Yeah. One of the things that for me, basically, as you know, Anmo, I've been into the non-profit the space as well.
Right.
My heart is with the children of the world, and I've discussed with you. We've had discussions on this, and what been in this non-profit space for almost like 40 years now. And then the recent initiative in using arts and music and dance to teach the children.
Right.
And so just before, this was basically we've done testing in India, in Ethiopia, we've done testing in Americas, we've done testing in many places with the poorest of the poorest children to see how the child really learns. Child does not really learn by sitting down. Child needs to be active. You
Right.
don't tell a child to sit down. And so in 2012, we started the initiative, and we were just testing it, and we came to a time just before the COVID hit us. It was going to be a brick and mortar kind of
Right.
the whole concept. But when COVID hit us, it was like our whole project was on a standstill. We didn't know what to do. But then we realized, you know what? What if we could do all this in VR, XR, AR, and the metaverse? And that really clicked for us. And then we've been running with this for now for the last just about a year and a half now, and a lot of interest has developed. And that is where we come in again. For me, it was the main thing that how are we going to use gamification and the AR VXR platform to teach the children of the world. We can reach, instead of reaching about maybe 1,000 children in a village, actually we can reach millions of kids through this platform. So I needed to understand how this whole Web3 technology and the blockchain and the gamification and the NFTs will work in all of this. And that was one of the main things that I went there for. And I really came back with the notion, we are on the right track. And right now we are in the race of $10 million
Oh,
for our
wow.
project.
That is
Yes.
amazing. That is amazing, sir. We,
Yeah.
we at Crobstacle wish that you get that funding for the prestigious project that
Well,
we are doing. So
if you get you be part of it, something we'll have to do. We'll be developing some stuff for us.
yes, yes, of course, of course, we will be doing for sure some stuff into it. But
Yeah.
you have mentioned this word in this podcast, which is NFTs. What are
Yeah.
NFTs? Like for our
These are
audience, we have
tokens.
never talked about
It's
on our podcast.
non-fungible tokens. These are small little things that you actually earn to, you could do NFTs to make money. This is like it's a digital asset, NFTs. So let's say you have an art and you put it up, a digital art, and you put it up, and then you can actually, it's tokens that you get, you collect, funds. So this is how we're going to be using the NFTs for the kids. So as the kids learn, they graduate to each level. As they graduate and they will reach a certain level, then they earn a token. So that's an NFT they can use. So we're teaching them how they can use it for financially. So we are even teaching the kids how to be, because time will come when it will be all digital.
Right.
Everything will be digital. All our money, it's coming. People say it's taking a long time. Just to give you an example, Citibank was a company that says we are never ever going to be online banking. Citibank.
Of course, those companies would be out of the market already, I think now.
So if that was a statement in when the e-commerce thing came up and the online banking came, they were the companies that we are never ever going to go online. But tell me today, can any bank survive? So
Today, like
talking about
online is something. When COVID hit us, all of us, we were sitting at our homes. We had nothing but this thing, this device. What we were doing
correct,
with it? Most of them were shopping. They were just
yeah,
exploring. So those businesses who were online, they took the opportunity. But those who were not, they just lost it. I
yeah,
think it
that's
was a
right.
big loss for those who weren't there. And in terms of NFT, also, like I would like to tell our audience, I will put the picture. I also own one NFT using
Good.
Tron network. It costed me
Okay.
around 5,000 rupees in total because I didn't knew the flow. So first I bought Tron, then I put it in some wallet, and then I put it in some another wallet. So all those transaction fees and the charges and the hashing rate, all and it took me around 5,000 rupees to own an NFT. So basically, what I feel is that like NFT is basically like digital art that I can own. I can own it.
Yep.
Right now,
Right.
if I put a picture on Facebook, Facebook's own it. Anmol Goge
Yeah.
does not own it, or David
Correct.
Peters does not own it. So it is the problem. So what I see in Web 2 is that Google and all these giants, they own everything that we do. But in Web 3,
That's
I
right.
think what decentralization for me is that everything that you do, you own it.
Correct. So that's the benefit. So time is going to come that you need to take ownership. Well, right now, everything is owned. You take a picture and you post it on Facebook. Who owns the picture? They own it.
Yes.
They may tell you don't own it, but
They may sell
we own
it,
it.
they may remove it, they can do anything. We
Then
cannot do anything.
that's right.
But
So
I think
that's
in
that's the
Web3 we
beauty.
will have that, with us, that we have
That's
the
right.
authority to do anything and everything. Awesome.
Mhm.
For our audience, this is something really new because in the digital world, this is something that is going to be a game changer. Right
Yeah.
now, for all the marketers who are watching this, your data is owned by Facebook, not you. So don't think that the data you are getting in your ad account is owned by you. Someday when Meta blocks you out, they will sell that data to another advertiser. So you need to understand. But in Web3, this is going to result. Am I right, sir?
Correct. Correct.
Perfect.
So there are two products that I think really caught my eye when I was going through the entire conference. One is a new universal smartphone. Forget iPhone, forget Android. This is an amazing phone that I got to see. It's complete. It's fully loaded. You don't need to have another phone to do any of this. So it's loaded for, you can do your transactions, you can do your exchanges, you can do your blockchain, you have apps. It's it's called Universal Smartphone by Oyster Labs. Check it out. And actually, they were actually giving away, not giving away. I was pre-order launch for only $99. And I said, okay, after this session is over, we talked to the guy who was presenting it, and because we said that we would probably need 1 million units
Wow.
to give away to the kids of the
If you
world.
have some pictures, sir, we can put it in our
Yes,
episode, for our
I will
audience.
share the picture separately so you could use it. And
So it
but
is.
this phone does everything. And then we said that this is what we want to do. He said, yes, we would love to help you guys. I said we would take a 1 million because we want to give 1 million kids this device so they can learn together. And the thing is that I couldn't order. By the time I went to order, it was all done. It
Okay.
was closed, even at the show. And today I saw that I ordered a second release, and they say you cannot pay by cash anymore. You got to pay by crypto.
Oh God.
It's only $129, but to be paid in crypto. So now I'm figuring out I really need to get into this space.
No,
So this
I
is
think
reality.
even few brands in America have also started to already accept Bitcoin as a
Yeah.
mode of payment. But in India, I don't know why our government is not interested about. Of course, it's a separate issue. I own 50,000 INR of crypto for our audience, and right now, if I want to withdraw it or do anything, I will have to pay 30% taxation on it. So I have just kept it in that wallet. And also, in India right now, the crypto space has been a bit difficult for everyone in terms of companies charging you, because I had kept my Bitcoin personally there for 15,000 INR, which is now only at a value of 2,000 rupees, because there were some transaction charges which were untold. So this is something
Mhm.
that I, of course, complain about the ecosystem, but of course, new companies have come up which are not doing this. So this is something that we are facing here in India right now. So for our audience who is watching this, if you know some platform, you can comment it down in the comment section. So everyone knows it. And personally, I've used a few platforms. I'm going to list it, and also what companies David sir have mentioned till date in the podcast. I am going to mention them in the description, so you can always access all of those resources. So now,
So
yes, sir.
one more thing, Anmol, if I can. How many people in our audience are fitness freaks?
I will say that 20-30% will be will be fitness freaks.
Yeah, so there is a new program, a new product platform. It is called Novax. Here's a picture. I'll show
Wow.
you about fitness. So this is another item I tell you. And if Crobstacle gets to do Web3 technology and get this thing going, I think this program, it's amazing. Everything that you can do in the metaverse with this device, with this app. So something that people who, and also at the same time you earn money.
Wow.
You're using the app, you're getting your exercises done, you're monitoring everything you do, plus you earn.
That is
Now,
amazing.
yeah, so something that, I'll share that with you so you can talk about that as well. There's something we were like, wow, this is another thing that you can use, and this
No,
is
I
this is
think
going
this
to be,
is really amazing. We are now talking future for our audience. This is golden nuggets. You just take it
yeah.
up. So, of course, sir, now we have talked about so many things. Like from the event, if I talk about what were your key learnings, or I will say interactions, like one or two you have told. Besides this, are there any?
Yeah, and see, it was all talking about data privacy. That's the main thing. People were very concerned about their privacy because now, because it's decentralized, security becomes more robust. People are talking about my information getting here, but with the blockchain, because it has to go through so many levels or chains, security is a main concern. So everybody was talking about security. Everybody was talking. So that was one of the main things that people were talking about in the
So
blockchain.
security is basically the key for
Yeah,
any company or business in the future. And like, of
Yes.
course, I also know that now even I also prefer, I use an iPhone, so every app that asks me for my data, I just say ask app not to track, because I don't want to give my
Correct.
data. Though being a marketer, of course, I need someone else's data to advertise it, but personally, I don't prefer also to get that give my data to
Yeah.
any of the applications. So,
So that's one of the things that Crobstacle would really benefit by offering these,
but
Web3
how do you
technologies.
think, sir, for marketers, when customers don't give their data, how will it be? The future will be.
Well, I'm sure, when they have to give you information, they don't have to give it to you over the phone, or probably we just have an application. I say, here's an application. You put in all your data here, and we'll integrate with our technology. So, yeah, definitely, Crobstacle will have to learn how to use Web3 technologies. We will have to train people. We'll have to have staff specializing in this. Yeah, so that's one of the things that we need to do. We start to embrace this technology, how to implement this, and also, one of the things is, why not Croftical can become the hub in Web3 development in India.
Right.
These big companies are all in Asia. They are in China, in Hong Kong, and in Japan. Very few are moving in this part. So let's make it a hub. Why not do a hub in India? Because a
Right, I
hub,
think this is the right time for us to tap in. For
yeah,
our audience, we are going to, David sir and I are going to talk about this separately, and we are going to get back to you on this soon because this is something very interesting, and I think we are going to have first mover advantage. What they call in a startup cycle. If we
yeah,
ponder on this, because right now I think people are talking about Web3, but it's still in early adoption stages. So of course, but now, as I talk about the early adoption stage, what is the global impact, sir? Do you think Web3, NFT, blockchain, and these technologies will bring in? Because of course, you and I, we know. Of course, you have lived everything. When I was born, so computer was already there, internet was already there. But you have been living generations when the internet was not there. You have seen that transformation from Web 1 to Web 2, and now Web 3. So, what do you, how do you see that transformation going on global, on a global scale?
yeah. I'm a dinosaur, as you can see. So things have changed, and I've survived. So I haven't become extinct as yet. So, but yeah, for me, technology is always so captivating, interesting. I'm always trying to find out, because to be successful as an entrepreneur or person in business, you just cannot be saying that you should have an open mind and not try to learn. Learning is never a done thing. It's an ongoing thing, and for me, specifically for me, I like challenges. I like to see how to use technology, and this is there for staying. This Web3 technology, blockchain, the NFT, all of this is for real now. If I can tell you one thing, Kathy Wood, she's actually an authority in blockchain and in cryptocurrency. So she was talking. She was talking on the stage. She could actually be on in person. She actually zoomed in from on Zoom. She predicted that the Bitcoin, which is currently I think at $68,000 US, is going to reach 1.5 million.
Oh my God, this is the right time to buy it, I think. Of course,
And you see,
I will put a
just
disclaimer because
imagine when she said that. I think there were maybe about 1,000 to 1,200 people in that hall, and everybody's going with their. So I'm really looking, what's going on? Like everybody say, "Oh, buy! It's going to go! It's going to go!" So you can see the excitement, and then there was a pause. People are watching and say, "What's going on in the room?" And the camera was being spanned, and so it's for real. It's for real. I was skeptical at the first, because actually I did get conned by somebody 2 years ago.
yeah,
So
yeah, you told me. Even I told you the same. I got scammed by someone with
yeah,
Bitcoin.
because see,
And
I
also,
mean,
like, I will put a disclaimer for our audience, because in Indian context, this is now necessary. So we are not here to give you any of the investment advices. This is just David sir and I talking to each other on this podcast, sharing our experiences. So please do not take any of this as an investment advice and invest in Bitcoin, and then you are going to be talking on the podcast about
Yeah.
this. So please take this as a just our experience. So just yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah, yeah. So it's there. It's for real, and things will move. For the forecasters, people will start using cryptocurrency to pay for all this stuff. Everything is going to change slowly. But when I say slowly, the space that it is going right now, organizations, company are adapting quickly. But
Yeah.
how the consumer and you and me will embrace it, we may be slow because everybody's cautious, as you rightly said, and of course, we will want to make sure that we don't do something foolish.
Yes, sir. And even I think India is coming up with their own Indian cryptocurrency version, RBI coin or Indian cryptocurrency something. Then many other countries have also started to follow that. And I also read a news that some of the big companies like Vanguard and all of these companies, they hold a lot of crypto in their reserves. So I think in the near future this is going to be one of the ways to, because right now if you see, if you want to transfer money from Canada to India, or I want to transfer from India to Canada, it takes up a ton of time and it is a headache. But I think with crypto it is going to be like just with a unique
Yeah,
hashing
instant,
and instant.
instant. Yeah,
But do you think, sir, it is going to bring in a lot of scamming as well? Like right now we are seeing.
yeah. People, of course. Just think about today. Today, there are scams happening. They're happening. People are calling you. I hear a lot of scams all over. I get phone calls asking you for information. I get emails asking you for saying, this is what it is, and you still sometimes you get trapped. People asking you, oh, give me an OTP. An
Right.
OTP sent for you for deliveries. You know what is happening right now.
Right.
So there is going to be a lot. People are going to be people are people. They're I don't have to tell you what their
Of course,
motives
technology is
are.
changing, but the humans
Yeah,
are the same.
yeah. But the technology is gearing up to counteract all of these loopholes that may have, and that is why Web3 is right now. Web4 and Web5 will be more robust. Yeah,
Right, right. So, like, I think overall, it is like any other technological revolution that has come. There will be
correct.
initially a lot of things that are going to be going wrong, but at the end, nothing can stop it. It is going to happen at all
It's
costs.
been That's all. Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah, and as I said earlier, we need to be cautious. We need to understand. We need to learn. Don't be blind to what it is. Talk about it. Discuss. I think get into groups who know all about this. Interact with them. Create network groups. Understand. Don't go blindly for anything. Even
Right,
when you have to buy a house, what do? You don't even buy a car. You go to three, four car showrooms. You try to find the best deal. You see the pros and cons. See, should we deal? And then you have to develop that trust with who the platform, which platform is offering what. See what is their the security level. What are they asking you? So all these things
right.
are very important when you make an investment.
Right. So it is like any other thing. Like in India, there is a campaign. Mutual fund है सही है, but again they also tell you that mutual funds are subject to market risk. So crypto is
Correct.
also a similar thing. It is subject to market risk. So you need to
Correct.
understand that as well. But like David said, uh, you know, also like as we are speaking about this, I would like to, of course, crypto is just a part of the Web3 ecosystem. It is like inside of it. But for our audience, like I have gotten this question earlier, people ask me, is it better to buy crypto on an exchange or is it better to hold it off in a wallet? So, like, do you have any idea on that?
Honestly, it's there are pros and cons for both, right? Even some people don't put it on the wallet, some people just to exchange. But I think right now, from my experience, it is more of an exchange. It is better.
Right.
People,
Like stock market, basically, you can
yeah,
buy and sell anytime.
that's
That is
right.
what.
And that is what it is happening, the current trend I'm seeing from all the people that are talking about. But, both are working. But It's a personal choice.
Right, it is a personal choice, I think. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think our audience who have asked this question, it has been answered. So like David sir, for our audience, startup founders, marketers, majorly these people are watching our episode right now, and business owners. So what after all the event, hearing ton of things that are going to be coming in the near future, what is the road ahead for businesses, for marketers? What is your take on it?
Yeah, so the future is good for all your startups or all the marketers, digital marketers. You will need to embrace it. You will need to adopt this and make this as an offering to for your clients. And even if you're a startup, you're starting a company, make sure that you incorporate high level of security. Get involved with the regulatory organizations who are talking about this. Understand that very clearly. Okay, how do we implement this? Because it changes very quickly. If you are going to be a startup company, uh, the first question is, what is different about you? There's so many startups. What makes you different?
Right.
You need to make an offering to tell your investors, this is what we are going to be doing, and this is what we are offering, and we are on the cutting edge of technology. We are embracing Web3, we are embracing Web4, and this is what we are going to implement in our approach. How we deal with our clients, how are we going to approach them, how are we going to make sure that everything is secure, and that's all about it. What makes you different from anybody else? That's the question. And even as a digital marketing company, why should somebody work with you rather than other company? That
So
you
the
know,
principles are the same. It's just that the technology is new.
correct. But you to be on the cutting edge, to be on top of mind, to be always updated, and that's you have to keep telling assuring your clients, your customers, listen, this is how we're going to implement. This is what is coming. This is what we need to do. I always tell the companies in business, there are three things that you need to know. If you have a customer, first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have the customer and that he does not leave you. Right?
Right.
So you keep servicing him whatever the customer has bought. The second thing is to offer one more new thing to the customer. You know, that will enhance the customer business or help him in his business. And third is to bring a new customer. So if you go with this three things in mind, you make sure that you have your new offering ready, that you offer to your existing customer. Okay, yeah, I can do this with that. I need to improve. So you already up the customers and you've already implemented a program. And then new customer, you say, oh, what do you currently have? Oh, you only have this. But when I offer you my service, I'm going to offer you this. There you are. You have an advantage,
Right.
right?
But also on
So
the client part of it, like, what do you think? What is the adoption of Web3 right now? Because I don't think that 80 or 90% of my clients even know about Web3 or like even are aware about it, because awareness is still in the very early adoption stages.
correct. So the early adopters are going to be the winners. It's always been like that. We know that. It takes, you invest early, and you'll be on the front. You will lead the pack. So that's how it is. It's a matter of convincing people. You got to show them. Show and tell works. Show them by example. Show them this is what is going on. And be ready. Be ready. Like for me, it was an eye opener for me for this, and I'd actually given up. I'd actually given up on blockchain. I said, no, this is not for me. But I said, no, with what we have to do, this is it.
Right.
10,000 people in a room are not going to be wrong about what they want to learn, and they're just not from that local. They've come from all over the world. They spend the money
Right.
to come there. It's not cheap to attend these events. It's an expensive event,
Right,
and
sir.
uh, and so just imagine people are coming there. So why are they coming there? It's not just because of the fact, because they understand the technology is there. And as I said, these are all young kids. They know how to move things, and they are going to be the movers and shakers. So current clients, understand your current clients. If you have clients who are not of this age, perhaps they are the prehistoric age, they may not accept it, because for them they have a closed mind. But
Right.
if you've got clients, on more your generation, they will understand. They will
Right.
understand what it takes. Yeah.
Perfect. I think we have covered, for this episode, we have covered a lot, and I think our audience will get overwhelmed if we continue this further. But yeah, of course, the conversation is great, and I think we could talk in a series of episodes about this and tell our audience. So, what do you think, David sir, about it?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I
Perfect.
think,
So for our
well,
audience, this is final. We are going to come up with more episode in this context, talking about David sir experiences on Web3, on NFTs, on blockchain, and also David sir has more than 40 years of experience in marketing, sales, and everything in running businesses. So we are going to be talking about that as well on with David sir. So stay tuned for more episodes on this, and I would like to thank David sir for joining in today, for giving his precious time to our audience, to share his experiences. Though David sir is our, he's our senior advisor and Canadian partner, but these insights, audience, you don't get them easily. So, thank you so much, David sir, again for joining in,
pleasure.
for
Always a pleasure,
giving
Anmol.
our audience all of the, your learnings, your things, and our audience. I thank you too for being patient listeners, because this episode has already crossed a 30-minute mark. But I think this episode is one of the most engaging episodes I've ever done, because it gives us a lot of new things, a lot of new insights that are needed to stay in the market. So, thank you so much for watching in. We will be back soon with another episode. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.